Here's where I am currently on the current polystyrene drawing project I'm working on at my mom's place. I squeezed in some time to outline the eyebrows. For the face, I decided to do on the other side of this small polystyrene ball to practice face features some more on an earlier day. I outlined these eyebrows using a green ultrafine Sharpie marker during roughly from 7:30 p.m. to about 7:50 p.m. It's currently 8:20 p.m. And this is the other side of the project I worked on a little today. I recall sometime between 2 and 3 p.m. touching up this dot with a default green fine-tipped Sharpie marker in order to ensure that all of the green dots for outlining the mouth would be the same hue of green. Prior to me doing that, this dot was a little lighter than the other green dots. I did a 30-minute HIIT workout. From roughly 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. while at my mom's place. This being the first time I did a 30-minute HIIT workout. At my mom's place. I did it on the first floor of my mom's place. Near my work area. Between the kitchen and the living room at my mom's place. I used the glass I'm using currently to have a glass of whole milk, to have a glass of tap water, both during and after the 30-minute HIIT workout. As I was cooling down on the living room couch. I didn't have any of the tap water. during the first set, but I took at least a little sip during both 60-second breaks between sets. The first set and the second set, and the second set and the third set. And I had at least a tiny sip of the tap water during most of the 30-second breaks. Between exercises. During the second and third sets. Between sets, the exercises stay exactly the same. I had broken a sweat by the second set, and by the third set I was sweating profusely, somewhat. I recall having to push through the third set a little. But I completed the 30-minute HIIT workout. For some reason, the 30-minute HIIT workout felt a little more difficult than usual. Maybe it had something to do with me doing it in a slightly different environment. Or maybe because I was in a significantly larger space. And there wasn't a direct air conditioner there, but it was still air conditioned. But I don't know for sure. I did the 30-minute HIIT workout. After my mom drove me back to her place from the Wegmans I work at. I didn't have a shift today, but I wanted to participate in today's Summer Picnic Employee Appreciation Week event. I was there from roughly 11 in the morning to 12:30 p.m. During which time I made some conversation with a male coworker. During a majority of the time I was there. he was pretty much the only one that was out at the outside tent area, which consisted of 2 large white tarp tents that were close to each other within a handful of feet, 10 feet apart at most. And these tents were large enough to fit a handful of plastic white little round tables surrounded by some white plastic chairs. I recall about 4 to 5 each table. He was outside as he was in charge of grilling hot dogs for the event. For a majority of the time I was at the summer picnic, I sat within the outside tent area at a table near the male employee. I made conversation with throughout the time I was at the summer picnic. Despite him wearing a pair of headphones, for most of the time I saw him, we were able to make conversation, no problem. He and him were pretty much the only ones at the outside tent area during the time I was at the summer picnic. Occasionally, I would see 1 or 2 co-workers seated at that area, but for the most part, for the summer picnic, everyone sat in the break room, which is where I got what I ate during the summer picnic. A cheeseburger, with each part of it being separate. Another male coworker gave me the buns and the beef patty. I also got myself some pasta salad, a small amount, a bag of crisp and crunchy white cheddar cheese puffs, Wegmans generic branded, and a plastic bottle of super water, cucumber lime flavored. It was good, though at this time I prefer the other two flavors, strawberry lemonade and orange peach, a little more. Around noon, I got from the break room a small dish of Abbott's ice cream. I opted for a vanilla one, the other flavor being available at the time being chocolate. I scooped on some crushed Reese's Pieces, some crushed Oreos, and some mini milk chocolate M&Ms before putting on some whipped cream. Though I recall it sprayed out of the can a bit uncontrollably. For some of the time I was at the summer picnic event, I sat in the break room to be with everyone else, though I only made a bit of conversation every now and then. While I was there, the break room was on the cool end of room temperature, and outside it was sunny and a little hot, but not too much, though I was generally in shade from being under the left tent. But even when I wasn't in shade during brief periods, it only felt a little hot outside. I recall today being somewhere from a low to mid 80s degrees Fahrenheit around that time, though I didn't really check. My mom both took me to the summer picnic event and picked me up from there. As I was leaving, I got another cheeseburger, a bag of white cheddar cheese puffs, Wegmans generic branded, and a plastic bottle of unsweetened Pure Leaf branded tea. to give to my mom. I recall the male employee who was out grilling hot dogs, kind of between the two tents, but also a little behind them from my perspective, gave me the idea by suggesting I get something on my way out. But I decided to get something for my mom, and that made her happy. I recall first waking up naturally around midnight and then going back to bed around 3:45 in the morning after I finished editing the July 18 my dinner video project in Camtasia 2019, then finished rendering that video project file into a 1080p quality MP4, and then started uploading that video project file to my YouTube channel. I woke up naturally again around 5:30 in the morning and was up for the rest of today, switching from being in my room, which was where I edited the July 18 my dinner video project, and being downstairs at my work area between the living room and the kitchen at my mom's place, prior to my mom taking me to the summer picnic event at the Wegmans I work at. I recall falling asleep a couple times during the late afternoon, early evening hours, and sleeping for about an hour or two each time, because at those times I felt a little tired. It's currently 9:47 p.m. and I'm gonna try to be asleep by 10 p.m. Not too long ago, I tried Camtasia 2019's captions speech to text feature to try to save myself some time for editing the July 19 my dinner video, so I could see where I should edit within the video project. But the speech to text function isn't accurate enough for that purpose, so that didn't work out.